This lesson is very practical. We'll learn how to improvise over the standard jazz chords with the right hand, just by using a simple triad hand grip. Let me demonstrate the sound we can do when mastering this simple technique. In my world, doing a solo is all about constraining ourselves to a simple technique. The simpler the better, actually. Then we can play music without thinking too much. And in that way we release the necessary energy to express ourselves, to create music. This is a new jazz lesson, by the way, and my name is Oliver Prehn. Okay, let's get started. The chord progression above contains the most common seventh chords when playing jazz. So, by using the chords above, we'll actually learn to improvise over almost any jazz tune. And we'll use just this very simple hand grip. Look, it's just a major triad. Index finger on the keynote of the triad, ring finger on the major third, and the thumb and pinky doubling the fifth. And then we add the extra middle finger just in between the index and ring finger. By adding the middle finger to our triad, we'll be able to play more melodic. In this lesson, we'll always place our fingers fixed like this. And when we have our fingers fixed in a certain pattern, we call it a hand grip. By using a hand grip to do our improvisation, our musical world gets simpler and it liberates us from thinking about jazz scales and advanced music theory while playing. With the hand grip, we become self-ruling, autonomous, and sovereign. Now, we can move our hand grip to different positions, like this. For example, this position is based on the G triad. So, let's name this position the G position. And for example, this position has the C triad as basis. So this is the C position. And this is the D position. And so on. Now it's all about adding some awesome positions to our different jazz chords above. The first chord is a minor 7 quality, in this case in A. And it happens that our G, C and D positions work great on this chord. So now it's just about placing our hand grip on the positions and fool around. So when playing a minor 7 chord quality, we go down a major second interval from the chord key note. And we have the G position. From this position we go up a fourth to the C position. And then we go up a major second interval to the D position. So we have our 3 positions structured in a 4th major second interval pattern. The thing is that we'll recognize this or parts of this organization of our positions throughout every chord quality above. The next chord is a dominant 7th chord quality. So, where to place our hand grip? Well, just stay on the chord key note and we have the D position. And then we go up a major second interval and we have the E position. So, on the dominant 7th chord, we have only 2 possible positions. And they are spaced with our major second interval. Next, we have a major 7th quality. Then we once more stay on the key note and do the G position. And we can go up a major second to the A position. And furthermore, we can from the G position go down a fourth to the D position. So look, here we once more have the 4th major second organization of our positions. And let me tell you a little secret. It happens that for every chord above, we have the positions organized in either a major second pattern or a 4th major second pattern. The next chord is also a major 7 quality, now just in C. So we simply do the same trick. C, D, and G. Next chord quality is new to us, the minor 7th flat 5 quality. In this case in F sharp. And we simply just go down a major second interval from the chord key note and we have the E position. And we go down another major second interval to the D position. With the minor 7th flat 5 chord quality, we only have these 2 positions. Again, spaced with our major second interval. Next chord is a dominant 7th altered chord. In this case we go up a tritone interval and we have the F position. And we go up a, yes, guess what? A major second interval to the G position. Finally, we have the minor tonic chord quality. This chord may sometimes be written as minor major 7, minor 6, or minor 6/9, or just minor. Now, go up a fourth, and we have the A position. And go up, yes, guess what? A major second interval, and we have the B position. Now, let's try to play the entire chord progression above. The thing is that by using our hand grip at the different positions, we automatically play some very common, nice sounding jazz scales. Now, this lesson is not a theory lesson, but let's write down the scales above anyway. Then you can see what scale we use at each chord quality. But we really don't care about the scales and the theory. Instead, we use a simple hand grip that is much more suited for practical musical performance. Another really great thing is that with the hand grip, we can easily repeat phrases, making our solo more homogeneous. Let me exaggerate this technique and show you how. Okay, now we'll go totally crazy, and I'll show you how we can use our simple hand grip to expand our horizon, play beyond the common tonalities, and really jazz up our sound. So, stay tuned. Now the trick is to break free from our well-known positions that automatically form our common jazz scales. What really makes a jazz solo sound thrilling and exciting is when we master to play inside and outside a certain tonality. When playing outside, the audience gets excited. What is happening? And when we play inside, we return to our sweet home, and everything is once more in order. This tension and relief technique is very much used by jazz performers, and it happens that our hand grip technique is ideal for that purpose. So, the positions we have learned so far are the inside positions. That's our sweet home. Now we simply just need to show some courage and heroism and play some outside positions as well. Outside, inside. Please note that the outside positions are marked with red dots and the inside positions with blue dots. Outside, inside. Chaos, order. Let's try this out with the bass and drums. Please note that it's a really good thing to become totally familiar with the inside positions before experimenting with the outside positions. But when we know the inside positions by heart, it's actually quite easy to do the outside positions as well, because it's the very same hand grip that we use. So, having learned the hand grip once and for all, a huge tonal diversity becomes very accessible to us, at our fingertips, so to speak. It's like catching a ball. When we master the discipline, it really doesn't matter if the ball comes to our left or right. We simply just catch it by heart, right? But it takes a lot of courage to do the outside positions, because actually they sound often very dissonant. But if we learn to play them with a certain amount of certainty, the audience will actually believe in us. And in that way, we can really add some tension to our musical universe. Okay, very soon I'll give you some very useful ideas and references to continue your work and musical exploration. But before that, let me just give you all a million thanks for all the likes, nice comments, translations of the video subtitles, and the voluntary donations that keep me going. Thank you so much to all of you. Now, if you want to continue your musical exploration, I've made a playlist gathering several lessons that all give you different perspectives on the very same chord progression above. I'll paste a link to the playlist below. For example, you may wonder how to play the left hand chords. So, I made a lesson just about that and added the video to the playlist. In another lesson from the playlist, we learn to improvise arpeggio on the chords. Also a very simple but thrilling non-theoretical approach. In a follow-up lesson to the arpeggio lesson, I also show you some very simple but awesome tricks you can add to the arpeggios. And I totally forgot, the drum and bass backing track that we have used in this lesson is of course also added to the playlist. Then you can play along and practice all the techniques that we have learned. And in the next lesson, we'll learn a lot of specific licks and phrases we can do on the chords above. That will for sure be fun. And I'll of course add that future lesson to the playlist as well in about a month from now. Well, that's it for now. The very best and warm regards from Oliver